Biological evolution, different aspects of evolution. One of them is the rate, the speed, the timing of evolution. How much time it takes to develop another species. It's not the same for every species. It's a variable component. Which aspect will decide how much time it's gonna take for development of a new species? Then one of the most important factor affecting this, the rate of evolution, and that is which one? Life cycle or lifespan of the species. For example, when there is a matter related to the evolution of bacteria or virus, you can see the new varieties, new species to emerge out within days or weeks. That much time is sufficient for evolution of new varieties of microbes. When it comes to the bigger organisms, fishes and fowls and mammals, their new species to emerge out from the existing one, it will take how much time? It's all about development of a new variety or a species, which is called speciation, which is in a way known as what? Evolution. But how much time it takes for microbes? Matter of days. How much time for birds and fishes? Matter of millions of years. The lifespan is very important over here. Microbes' lifespans are in hours, minutes and hours, whereas these organisms, their lifespans are in years. So it's gonna take much more time to evolve varieties of theirs, particularly compared to the varieties of microbes. We can understand this aspect from our running life example. You all have experienced and heard about and been through this phase of COVID-19, coronavirus. It somewhere came in December 19 in picture. Then the whole 20 and which one? 21 has they have passed. Almost 2 years have passed. Within 2 years, you must have heard about the varieties of corona. The latest one seems to be which one? Omicron. The most lethal was which one? Delta, I guess. And then there were some other variants previous to that. Now, what does it show? It has evolved, isn't it? The coronavirus, is it the same which was there in 19? No, it's a new version. And in between, so many varieties which we do not know. We are not fully aware of each variety. Otherwise, there were South African variety, there was Indian variety, there was British variant over there, and of course that Chinese variant was always there as a beginner over there. How come different varieties of same virus within such a short span, within 2 years? Almost 10 different variants must have come into existence. How come this thing? Because these kind of microbes and smaller forms, their lifespan is in terms of what? Days. And whenever such a new variety comes, you can make out the previous variety is completely sidelined and new variety takes over the stage. At present, no one talks about Delta. Everyone is talking about which one? Omicron. Everywhere it is the one which is spreading. It's almost like that, when we use the variants in bacteria also, similar way it goes. You use a particular antibiotic and you can make out that artificial setup in which if you do this experiment, you can make out that you have a one variety of bacteria. Colonies of bacteria are there. One variety of colonies of bacteria. I'm giving this example because it has been quoted in the textbook, so it will help you to understand those lines of textbooks if ever you get a chance to read the textbook. So now what they say that most of the existing given colonies of bacteria, they are non-resistant. They are which varieties? Non-resistant. But in them, few may be the ones which may be variant with the variation, and the variation regarding the resistance, that this is foremost, but fewer which one? Resistant. This variation is an inbuilt variation. Inbuilt variation means what? It is already there existing in the population. It is there existing in the population, this variation. We don't know which ones are variant, but we believe that majority were which one, and along with that few were which one? Resistant. They were the variants from the existing lot. When you expose this to which condition? Antibiotic presence. What would have happened? Which ones would have been wiped off? And which one would have survived over there? Only resistant ones would have survived over. So now this variety is a dominant variety, dominating the field at present, dominating the habitat. Most of them are now which ones? Resistant variety. See, imagine everywhere Delta variant, and few are which one? Omicron. Few are which one? Omicron. Vaccination happened and all the treatments started working upon this Delta variant. So Delta variant is been diminishing, but Omicron is surviving against them, against those vaccines. So it is the one which is now taking over the stage everywhere. Now which one is there? Omicron, and not the Delta variant. You understand? Are you able to correlate the thing? Such example is being given in the textbook, so I had to give this one. Evolution of bacterial variety. Instead of antibiotic, they are giving the nutrient based variant. Nutrient based variant का description दिया. Given colonies of bacteria adapted to survive on a particular nutrient. In them, some inbuilt variation where few bacteria are capable of surviving on even other nutrient. लिखा है ऐसा. और फिर वो varieties को किससे expose किया जाता है? New nutrient medium के साथ. So the one which was adapted for a particular nutrient are wiped off. Which one will survive? Those which were variant and capable of surviving in a new nutrient medium also, and they will be successful in evolving further, leaving behind the diminishing variety over there. So that is what they are referring to. Now, how much time in which the new variety has grown up over here in the lab, in this culture medium? You can do it in how much time? Hours you can manage. You had this variety, you exposed it to antibiotics, some survived over there, they were variant, and now you let them grow in this medium, they will make more colonies. A new variety is evolving in how much time? Hours, in an experimental mode. But similarly, if you have to do it for whom? Fishes or fowls. कि फिशेस का एक पॉन्ड में एक फिशेस का एक क्लस्टर, उसमें से एक दो वेराइटी वेरिएंट है, फिर आप उनको सर्वाइव करने दो और नई स्पीसीज का इवोल्यूशन करो. इट विल टेक इयर्स और इयर्स इवन. और नेचुरली करने जाओ तो इट विल टेक हाउ मच टाइम? मिलियंस ऑफ इयर्स. सो ऑल डिपेंड्स अपॉन विच एस्पेक्ट? लाइफ स्पैन ऑफ द organism. It counts a lot. Now we will see the contributions of various eminent scientists in the field of evolution, starting with the first one, whose theory? Lamarck's theory. Before Darwin came into picture, already there was another scientist, I think French scientist, Lamarck, John Baptiste Lamarck, the Lamarck, French scientist. He tried to explain evolution in his own way. The one in which he said that evolution of life is driven by use and disuse. How come the new variety comes up? It comes up because of use and disuse of organs and body parts. He gave one example to explain the same. The example was evolution of giraffe. According to Lamarck, according to whom? Lamarck. How the giraffe must have evolved? He said that initially the giraffes had a short neck. All giraffe, they had which kind of a neck? Short neck. For foraging is taking the leaves from the plants. There was a lot of competition on land. So grass on the ground was eaten up by the other organisms. So giraffe started picking up the leaves. Instead of from the ground, the grass was being picked up by it. It started picking up the leaves from trees. And in doing so, it had to stretch its neck. So it was overused. Which part was overused? Neck. And it kept on happening for several generations. In this process, what happened to the neck? Neck got elongated. So the justification for the elongated neck of the giraffe, the explanation for that, when it was offered by Lamarck, he said overuse of the organ made the organ elongate. Also in favor of his theory, one more thing comes up in the picture, and the disuse of organs. Certain organs which are not in use over the generations, they become vestigial. Have you heard about it? It's a disuse of organ which makes the organs vestigial. Our ancestors used certain organs which we are not using. They have become which organs in our case? Vestigial. Our ancestors used tail for balancing as they were arboreal. But we are on ground. We are no more arboreal. So our tail has been lost over there. Our tail has been lost over there. So it's a classic example that if you do not use the organ, that organ becomes what? Vestige. So we are different from our ancestors to an extent. We are descendants and we are different. So new species has come into picture. We are not that species which was existing 10 lakh years back. They were ape men. We are modern men. Ape man is a different species. Modern man is a different species. We are Homo sapiens. They were different ones. Homo erectus. So why two different species? Why this kind of evolution? Because we did not use certain organs and we started using certain organs more, and we started disusing certain organs. So we are different from them. So evolution is driven by use and disuse of the organs. That is the Lamarck's theory. This theory is also known as inheritance of acquired characters. Inheritance of acquired, whatever characters that organism acquires, they will be inherited into its next generations. This theory apparently looks good to begin with, but when you go in depth of it, you realize it is not correct. Scientifically, it is unaccepted. Every organ that is not in use doesn't turn to vestigial. It doesn't turn to vestigial. One experiment was conducted in this direction. One scientist did what, he cut the tails of mice, pair of mice, male and female, chopped off their tails. So they are tailless mice pair. They were allowed to reproduce, and next generation was obtained. As soon as next generation was born, tails were cut in all babies. Again from them, next generation. Again when they are born, tails are cut. This procedure was continued for how many generations? 22 generations. And every generation was made tailless since what? Beginning. So now comes the stage when you anticipate that, as per this theory, what is likely to happen? When tail is not in use, over how many generations? 22. What do you expect the tail should become? vestigial, reduced in size and useless in function. Surprisingly, the 23rd generation tail was as normal with respect to the length and its function. 23rd जनरेशन में कट नहीं किया तो क्या देखा, टेल उतनी ही लॉन्ग डेवलप हो रही थी जितनी अदरवाइज 22 जनरेशन से पहले थी. Tail was as important and functional in balancing. That was, 22 generations earlier. So tail when was not used, still it remained what? Functional and normal. इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? This theory that disuse of organs make the organ vestigial is not acceptable. Another one, use of organs make the organ more developed and functional. Wrong belief. For example, if there is a bodybuilder who is building strong body and muscles, is it compulsory that the son of him would be also a bodybuilder? Not. If that son is not doing exercise, not feeding well, can also become thin and lean person. अभी आप बोल रहे हो कि ऑर्गन अगर अच्छे से यूज हुआ है तो इनहेरिटेंस में आप पास ऑन करते हो वो फीचर, वो तो नहीं होता है. इट इज नॉट हैपनिंग ओवर दैट. दूसरा एक एग्जांपल, कोई अगर ज्यादा ज्यादा रीड करता है तो आइस का यूज कैसा होता है? ज्यादा. तो ऐसा होता है आइस बिगर हो जाए या आइस शार्पर हो जाए. इनफैक्ट रिवर्स होता है, आइस में क्या आ जाता है? नंबर्स आ जाते हैं. यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वे. या हार्ट विच इज वर्किंग 24/7, 24/7 हार्ट वर्क कर रहा है तो हार्ट तो क्या होना चाहिए? बिगर एंड बिगर. इज इट हैपनिंग सो? Does the efficiency of heart increases by age because it is working 24/7? In fact, it is declining. So this idea that using the organ more and more makes the organ better and more functional, neck को stretch करते जाओ तो neck becomes longer and longer, that is not the right thing. और ऐसा होता तो उस टाइम पे जब जिराफ इवॉल्व हो रहा था तो जिराफ was the only smart animal on the earth. बाकी सबको ग्राउंड पे शॉर्टेज नहीं हुई ग्रास की, तो वो जिराफ खा रहा था लीव्स, तो उसे देख के जेब्रास एंड डियर्स, उनमें इतनी सेंस नहीं थी कि वो खा रहा है ट्री पे चढ़ के तो हम भी ऐसा करें तो हमारी भी नेक लॉन्ग हो जाए. तो एवरी ग्रेजिंग एनिमल वुड हैव इलोंगेटेड नेक. यू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई ओनली जिराफ? तो अगर ये थियरी करेक्ट होती तो एवरी मेंबर व्हिच वाज इन दैट फील्ड वुड हैव स्ट्रेच्ड इट्स नेक एंड वुड हैव elongated its neck. और सक्सेसफुली इवोल्यूशन में सभी का जिराफ जितना लॉन्गर नेक हो जाता, बट इट डिडंट हैपन. That shows that Lamarckism concept is not acceptable. It is not true. Scientifically unacceptable. बोलो यहां तक क्लियर? आगे जाते हैं. Who was next? Darwin's theory is one of the most accepted theory to understand the evolution because it is closest to the truth and closest to the reality which is prevailing in the living world. Darwin was very much influenced by one economist named as Malthus. Thomas Malthus was an economist. Economy, commerce related field के वो statistics and commerce से related field के वो expert थे. He had nothing to do with evolution. His focus was on understanding the human population expansion. वो किस पे research कर रहे थे? Increasing rate of human population. He compared that human population is actually increasing at the rate at which grains are increasing. जैसे फील्ड में आप 100 grains डालते हो और 1 year के बाद उसमें से इतने plants और उसमें से कितने grains, lakhs of grains you get. You understand? Human population is expanding at the rampant pace. That's what he suggested. Who suggested this one? इस कंसेप्ट से कौन इंस्पायर हुआ? उन्होंने बोला कि नॉट ओनली द ह्यूमंस बट इट्स a tendency for virtually every species to expand at which rate? Exponential rate. Malthus suggested that which population is expanding at exponential rate? Human. But Darwin said that yes, you are right, and now I can correlate that Not only human, but it is applicable to who? उन्होंने किस पे रिलेट किया ये? अदर स्पीसीज पे भी रिलेट किया. It happens with every species. One example was quoted by him, and that was, given in chapter number 14 or 15. याद है आपको? Pair of elephant given a huge forest area, and in a 450 years their number will turn out to be 19 lakh. 2 elephant में से कितना जा सकता है? If they are allowed to increase their population at which rate? Exponential rate. Where unlimited resources are available, then they will grow at this number. In how much time? Can you imagine 450 years में 2 elephant में से कितने बन जा रहे हैं? 19. If the growth is allowed to go in a J-shaped curve, ideally नहीं होता है, but ये estimate था. तो उन्होंने कहा कि forget about human. Every species has a tendency to do so. So actually, he wrote one book, Origin of a Species by means of natural selection. He said that species originates or speciation happens because of which phenomenon? Natural selection. In that theory, he gave certain postulates, main points. These main points are like this. Natural resources are limited in every habitat. 2. Populations are stable in size except for which fluctuations? Population का जो size होता है वो वही रहता है unless के हो जाए seasonal fluctuations आ जाए, वरना तो majority populations tend to remain in their natural size. He observed that no two individuals are alike in a population. Means when you say population, it's members of same species living in a given habitat. Because they are members of same species, they should be similar, but they are not identical. Similarity is a different thing. You are similar to human beings. अगर आपको साथ में रखा जाए तो कोई भी देख के बोलेगा these are humans. Why? Set of characters. If you keep two sparrows together, you can make out these two are sparrows. Set of characters. But are they going to be identical ones? No, they are never. So you may be two members of a same species showing tremendous similarity, but you can never be identical. Which is an exception to this line? Twins. Same species and are genetically identical. So living or barring the exception of twins, no two members of a species are identical. This shows his keen observation skill that two members of any species are always little bit different. Variations prevail in them. And variations are the essence of evolution. Without variations, there is no evolution. Evolution is all about bringing new varieties, isn't it? तो varieties आने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? Dissimilarity, थोड़ा variation चाहिए, वरना तो evolution ही नहीं होगा. So he observed another fact that organisms, though they are members of same species, are showing certain variations. And most variations are what? Inherited. आप में अगर वेरिएशन है और उस वेरिएंट को आप अलाउ करोगे तो वो वेरिएंट्स अपने डिसेंडेंट्स में वो डिफरेंसेस को क्या करता है? ट्रांसमिट करता है. सो वेरिएशंस आर नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू द ऑर्गेनिज्म, दे आर inherited into their descendants, and that becomes the base for what? Evolution. ये वेरिएशन आगे जाते 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 आपको हेल्प करते हैं किसमें? इवोल्यूशन में. वो मैंने आपको आगे एक्सप्लेन किया था, याद है आपको? In the form of the fitness, reproductive fitness, said population living in changing environmental condition. Some variations are helpful and some variations are harmful. Those with helpful variation, they will successfully survive in the new environment and they will increase their fitness and ability to adapt and get selected by the nature. That is called as a reproductive fitness. So the reproductive fitness will increase. Those which are reproductively fit will survive. Their generations will pass on and their variations will be retained on the earth. That is called as a natural selection, survival of the fittest. What happens to those which are having harmful variations? Eliminated from the earth. Nature will not let them survive. Nature will let them eliminate. ऐसा इसको कहते हैं नेचुरल सिलेक्शन. और वो किसके बेसिस पे चलता है? अगर ये वेरिएशंस पास नहीं होते then the species will not be able to maintain those variations. So variations to be maintained will require what? Inheritance. Genetic basis पे ही variations acceptable है. Darwin's entire theory was based on 2 points. One point was known as branching descent and another point is known as what? Natural selection. So I think you have understood. What is natural selection? In the population, what is prevailing? Most of the variations are what? This population is subjected to the habitat with what? Now in this, if there is a change in the environment, organisms with the variations, some variations are useful, some variations are useless or harmful. Who is going to survive in this changed condition? With the useful variant. Who is going to be eliminated from this? So that variety is a reproductively fit variety that is going to survive. Another concept is of a branching descent. Branching descent क्या है? Let's say that there is a one species which is existing at a given point of time. From that, another variety is emerging out. Can you make out? That species remains as it is and another variety also emerges out from the same. जैसे बैक्टीरिया की दो वैरायटी है, एक नॉन रेजिस्टेंट और दूसरी कौन सी वैरायटी? रेजिस्टेंट. अगेन from that what can come out? Another variety can come out. This is called as what? Branching descent from the original ancestral form. From the original ancestral form, two variety or new species emerges out. New species emerges out. It's a speciation, by the way, in a way. New species emerges out. The original species is retained, and along with that, what happens? New species emerges out. If it happens so, it is called as what? This is called branching descent. एक में क्या होता है? Species 1 will be fully converted into which one? Species 2. So no longer what is existing? Species. Then species 2 will later convert into what? No longer that one is existing. So that's a one possibility. Another possibility is called as which one? Darwin's view was more about which one? He says that from the species, new species when emerges, original species also exists and descendants also exist. If parallelly they exist, it is called as what? Understood? So these are the two major aspects of whom Darwin's theory of, that is called theory of natural selection, to explain the evolution process. Which is the next lecture after this break? Well, the another theory that is of Hugo de Vries, mutation theory. See, Lamarck proposed which theory? Inheritance of acquired characters. Darwin proposed which theory? Theory of natural selection. Hugo de Vries proposed which theory? Mutation theory. Again, another important and accepted theory of evolution. We will see it in the next lecture. We conclude our lecture with this, right? They're gonna come tomorrow or no? Tomorrow there is one class, 11:30 to 1. I don't know. You don't have
tomorrow. But why? Just so that we can wind up the things earlier. Or no need to take extra lecture in evening or after. So कल एक और Wednesday और wind up करते हैं. हाँ तो दे रहे हैं हम अभी दे रहे हैं मैडम आपके इन्फॉर्म करेंगे but 11:30 to 1 बायो है. हाँ और उससे पहले फिजिक्स एंड बायो है. Chemistry syllabus is over. Fine. So these two will be there. I'll give the confirmation.